Hare Krishna Mataji, just please wait. Today's Revati Prabhu is not there.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, I was in that, so I couldn't unmute or do anything. So
Oh,
it
okay, I
will
got
take
it.
to a different screen. So
Okay, no problem, Prabhu. It's fine.
yeah, so I made it.
Sure, Prabhu. So I can start now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Mataji. Thank you very much for joining and keeping the appointment with Krishna today. Today is 14th of May, 2025. So today we'll be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 33. So let us start with Jaya Radha Madhav. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivara Dari Jaya Girivara Dari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव रमान की जय नरसिंह भगवान की जय पंच तत्व की जय षड गोस्वामी की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव जी बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So Hare Krishna, Prabhu Mataji, welcome all of you. So I'll share the screen for this verse, today's verse. It is from 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse number 33. इति व्यवसितं तस्य व्यवसाय सुरोत्तमौ दर्शयाम आसतुर्देवीं पुरो यानेन गच्छति. इति व्यवसितं तस्य व्यवसाय सुरोत्तमो दर्शयाम आसतुर्देवीं पुरो यानेन गच्छति. One Prabhu and Mataji can recite.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Carry on,
Krishna.
Mataji. Please.
इति व्यवसितं तस्य व्यवसाय सुरोत्तमौ दर्शयाम आस्तुर्देवीं पुरो यानेन गच्छतीम्. हरे कृष्ण. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else wants to recite? Any Prabhu or Mataji?
कृष्ण प्रभु इति व्यवस्थितं तस्य व्यवसायस्य सुरतमो दर्शयम् असुतुर्देवीं पुरायणेन गच्छतम्.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes, okay.
Hare Krishna. Iti vyavasitam tasya vyavasaya surottamau darshayamasu devim puroyanena gacchatim.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Go to synonyms, word to word meaning. Iti, thus. Vyavasitam, contemplation. Tasya, of Dhruva. Vyavasaya, understanding. Sura Uttamo, the two chief associates. Darshayam, Darshayam Asatuhu, showed to him. Devim, exalted Suniti. Puraha, before. Yanena, by airplane. Gachatim, going forward. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please hear the translation and purport. The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another plane. Purport. This incident proves that the Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple even though the instructor is not as advanced. Although Suniti was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaj, she could not go to the forest because she was a woman, nor could she execute austerities and penances as Dhruva Maharaj did. Still, Dhruva Maharaj was able to take his mother with him. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also delivered his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu. The conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission, propagating Krishna consciousness, to be successful. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world. And sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. Jai, Srila Prabhupada's transcendental purport. Ki Jai. Om Jnanatmarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Supadhanikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatamitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगणलिता श्री विशाखाधामश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणानमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपात्मो वन्दे परमात्मानं नमो विष्णुवे कृष्णपृष्ठाय पुरुषोत्तमाय नमो विष्णुसहस्रनामने नमो विष्णुवे कृष्णपृष्ठाय निर्विशेषं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य So Hare Krishna Prabhu Mata is once again, thank you very much to join this Srimad Bhagavatam session. And the wonderful chapters from with regard to Dhrumaras episodes, right? Very, very important. In fact, in the entire Bhagavatam, no, Dhrumaras episode is one of the most important. And we have seen this episode starting from fourth canto now, 8th chapter till this 12th chapter which we are discussing. So a lot of lovely qualities of Dhruva Maharaj we have seen so far. Some more we will be seeing. So in fact, this entire 12th chapter is description of Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj's wonderful qualities. In fact, Prabhupada says, a sincere devotee should read every chapter and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam. He says in 4:12:44. And plus, who are hearing, we have been hearing these Prabhupadas. Every day we are hearing from different Prabhus and Maharaj and these chapters right from 4.8 till now the 12th. So anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj, they will acquire exalted qualities like him. Knowingly or unknowingly, we will be getting better and better. That's the main purpose of hearing Krishna Katha. See, the great Saint Narada Muni, he was very proud of having a devotee disciple like Dhruva Maharaj. He had many other disciples, but he was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj. You know why? Because in one lifetime, by the dint of his severe penances and austerities, he had achieved Vaikuntha. Just in one lifetime, which was never achieved by any other king's son or any Rajarishi, throughout the whole universe. Nobody. So the lesson from this life of Dhruva Maharaj is that if one desires, intense desire, one can attain Vaikuntha Loka in one life without waiting for many other lives. In fact, Prabhupada says, in the purport itself we have said, he told, my Guru Maharaj, that is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say that every one of his disciples could attain Vaikuntha Loka in this life without waiting for another life to execute devotional service. One simply has to become as serious and sincere as Guru Maharaj. Then it is quite possible to attain Vaikuntha Loka and go back to Godhead in one life. So with determination, when one follows instructions of the spiritual master sincerely, it is possible to reunite with Krishna after this very lifetime. So in the purport of this verse, which we are discussing today, Prabhupada says, this incident proves that the Shiksha or Diksha Guru, who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj, can be carried by the disciple even though the instructor is not as advanced. And he gives an example, right? Suniti, his mother, Dhruva mother was an instructor. The first instruction she gave immediately was, only Krishna can help you. So Suniti was an instructor to Dhruva Maharaj. She could not go to forest because she was a woman, right? Nor she could execute austerities and penances like Dhruva Maharaj. Still, Dhruva Maharaj was able to take his mother with him to Vaikuntha Loka. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj also delivered his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu. So Prabhupada says the conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is a very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha. Guru Padashraya Diksha Guru Sevana Sadharma Shiksha Pricha Sadhu Marganu Gamana. Chaitanya Charitam Madhya 22.115. It says, on the path of regulative devotional service, one must observe. What all the observes? 5 things are there. On this path of devotional service, one must observe these things. Number 1, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master. 2, one must accept initiation from him. 3, one must serve him. 4, one must receive instructions from the spiritual master and make inquiries in order to learn devotional service. And 5, one must follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and follow the directions given by the spiritual master. See, in one of the lectures of Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada says, Guru Krishna Kripaya Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Chaitanya Charitamrita 19.151, Madhya Lila. So we have to acquire this energy through the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So Krishna is within, right, as Chaitanya Guru. And when we are serious, he comes out as a spiritual master. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. So there is no difference between Shiksha and Diksha Guru and Krishna. So Krishna manifests himself externally as a Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Shiksha and Diksha. Now, Shiksha means learning, and Diksha or initiation means the beginning of spiritual realization. So every disciple must make his own spiritual progress positively and help others also to do so. See, one of his letters to one of Prabhupada is written, the great sage Narada is a brahmachari, and with his tambura is traveling all over the universes without any restriction and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and creating new devotees of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that one who does this service, namely, go on preaching the glories of the Lord and creating all devotees of the Lord, that person is the most confidential and favorite of Krishna. So Krishna is so kind that he wants to help us as spiritual master in two ways. He helps us from within as Chaitya Guru, and he expands himself externally as Shiksha Guru, as instructor. Shiksha Guru is instructor, and Diksha Guru, initiator. So the principle is that whatever you are instructed by the Chaitya Guru internally may be confirmed by the instructor or initiator externally. Then your progress will be complete. This was the letter which Prabhupada has given. See, in Bhagavad Gita 3.8, Krishna says, Niyatam kuru karmatvam karma jyayo hya karmanah sharira vyatrapichate na prasidhed akarmanah. Perform your prescribed duty. For doing so is better than not working. One cannot even maintain one's physical body without work. See, on the pretense of doing devotional service, we must not be careless in our material desires, duties. There should not be any room for lethargy, laziness. My Guru Maharaj used to say, devotional service begins from doing material duties nicely. A grain of practice is worth than tons of faithlessness. He said, in transcendence, there is no rest. Sorry, excuse me. He said, in transcendence, there is no rest. That means the more you serve, the more good it is for your spiritual as well as bodily well-being. So you have to keep this in mind, even if you are not able to follow it. And Maharaj used to say, you keep this in your mind, right? So because why? Because at least if it remains in your mind, someday you will start following it. And he also said, after becoming a devotee, which is regard to in one of the initiation lectures he was telling, see, after becoming a devotee or engaging in devotional service to the Lord, if one does not accept a japamala, okay, after becoming a devotee, engaging devotional service to the Lord, if one does not accept a japamala, his initiation is considered to be demoniac. This kind of initiation is not very beneficial for religious principles. And he said, if one chants on his beads one chants on his beads properly, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead remembers this intelligent devotee for thousands of births and rewards the devotee spiritual perfection. So he said, see, 16 rounds is a must. Prabhupada has given, right? Minimum 16 rounds. Otherwise, spiritual progress will be nil. So you have to accept this japamala. Very important. And he even informed, don't use clickers. He said, don't be worried as to what others will think of you if you use the japamala. He said, when you touch the japamala, unknowingly you will concentrate. See, even when chanting using japamala, it is equally important to keep the bag clean. Because he said it will hardly take 5 minutes to wash, right? So everything should be very done nicely. See, if there are any dirty clothes lying around, right, in the house, they must also be folded properly and kept aside with sufficient eagerness to clean it soon. So he said, please be serious about these things. This may look very simple, but has to be done. See, doing arti with dirty clothes lying around, it's not acceptable. He said, showy religious fervor is not required. Very important points he was telling. All this, cleanliness will be very first thing, right? Otherwise, how can you, Krishna can enter? If your heart is not clean, you will not be able to enter. See, in this in our altar, we first clean everything, right? Make very neatly and arranged and everything. Then only we keep the deities in the altar. So same way, we have to clean the altar in the whole heart. Heart is the altar where Krishna has to be installed, right? He will come when it is clean, cleansed. Cleansed of what? This Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these things, right? And this can be cleansed. It has to be cleansed daily. And for this, chanting is the only way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So the spiritual master who delivers the disciple from the clutches of Maya by initiating him into the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, right? So he is the one. So in this way, what happens? A sleeping human being can revive his Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the spiritual master, he awakens the sleeping living entity to his original consciousness so that he can worship Lord Krishna. So this is the purpose of Diksha or initiation. Initiation means receiving the pure knowledge of spiritual consciousness. See, on the day of our spiritual initiation, we mainly promise to chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra and follow the 4 regulative principles. Apart from this, we make actually, Guru Maharaj gave a list of promises which we are making. Right, and the conclusion we are arriving at by taking the spiritual initiation. Some of the listing was, what are the promises we make? Number 1, we promise to hear the voice of Krishna situated within our hearts. First one. Second, we promise to try to realize the presence of consciousness everywhere. 3, we promise to stop being mad after sense gratification and become completely simple. 4, we promise not to exploit the other living entities, but depend on our own self. 5, we promise to take a dip into the spiritual literature every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. 6, we promise to come to the right direction. 7, we promise to become prasanna by coming to the Sat instead of Asat. 8, we promise to recognize the supreme authority. 9, we promise to hand over this tradition to the younger generation. 10, we promise to understand that I am the only reason for my miseries. And 11, we promise not to prolong the material matters unnecessarily. A few of the points, right? Promises. So these promises really make us understand our great and grave responsibility. And he used to say there are no supervisors appointed to check whether we are following these promises. The super soul is always watching. Super soul knows what we are doing. And if we don't hear the super soul and correct ourselves, the miseries are waiting. It is for our own good that we become nice. So if you're having miseries, everything is there, that means we are not hearing the super soul and not correcting ourselves. One of my godbrother long back, he asked a question to my Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, in my heart, I have great desire to please you all the time. But due to my lack of faith, I have so much difficulty in following your instructions. My mind, it gives me the excuse that sometimes time is not it is not the right time, or the situation is not right. So it becomes more difficult when I am far away from you. I want to follow you fully. Maharaj, what should I do? So this is the question. So Maharaj replied, can I ask you something? Do you think that we should want to hurt you in any way? Then why you lack the faith? If you claim that you know our good intentions, then why don't you accept the good things? He said, we have some experience in these matters. So it may be in your best interest to accept the instructions which we are giving. Actually, we don't have many instructions. All we request is for everyone to chant the rounds, study Bhagavatam, and wake up for Mangalarti. This is what Prabhupada wanted. And because you can't follow these things perfectly, we have to tell you how to do it. In this way, you receive appropriate instructions, right? To adjust. The thing is, we don't want good things nowadays. We think we know the best. And this is the cause of our destruction. We have desire, but we can't do. Because the false ego is too strong. We must get rid of that first. Then you may, by Krishna's will, come to understand the good things which are available. If you obey, you may benefit. You must understand, Maharaj is continuing to telling him, you must understand that the physical proximity does not matter. Whether you're near me to serve me and all, or you're far away, it doesn't matter. Now we are in front of you. But if you lack the faith, both of us are not very much connected. You may be in Singapore, but if you have faith and obey, we are connected very strongly. Although you are in Singapore, I am in Rajkot. We will be even more closer than now. So this is the thing. The distance is not created by space. The distance is not created by space, but by the lack of faith. So the spiritual master has to be very intimately connected to his disciples. The spiritual master should never close the doors to his disciples, but open up the doors to each and every one of them. So whether you took your vow seriously during initiation, see, I was telling, whether you took your vow seriously during initiation, we can assure you that we are serious about our vow. So our vow to Prabhupada is to guide you towards him and Krishna. So we instruct you according to that. So the next question you asked, Maharaj, what about our seniors and other Vaishnavas? How do we develop faith to also accept their instructions? So he said, our elders have more experience than us, so we must follow them. These Vaishnavas are our Shiksha Gurus. So it is very important that we take their instructions. It is very simple. Shiksha Gurus may be many. Diksha Guru is one. So this is Krishna's way. So we tell you that you follow, so you follow. There is no confusion. Eventually the instruction is coming from us, so follow. If you follow the spiritual master, you will act in such a way that everyone is pleased. Be loving to everyone. That is our way. Doesn't matter who, just be loving. Don't love only those who satisfy your senses. And he said, may Lord bless you, son. We only want the best for you. So after hearing this, no, see, he really showed how much all the gurus in our parampara, how much love they have for each of their disciples, right? See, even the word love cannot measure the feeling for us. Their feeling for us. It is beyond, right? It is something that we can only conceive through Krishna's mercy. Because we lack the faith to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, right? That's the problem. So if we don't follow after getting initiation also, then get us misfortune. Let us pray that we develop the faith in the Guru's instructions. In fact, we really need their prayers. Correct? See, the act of disobedience to the spiritual master is not a means to pure devotional service. Sorry, the act of obedience. Sorry, the act of obedience to the spiritual master is not a means to pure devotional service. It is in itself pure devotional service. The moment you obey, it's a pure devotional service. See, Prahlad Maharaj never asked Narasimhadev for service. Right? He would have never asked, right? Because when Narasimhadev asked him for prediction, face to face come back, take you back to God. He said, no, I have to serve my spiritual master, Narada Muni. So Prahlad Maharaj would never have asked Narasimhadeva for service to Narada Muni, right? Even after attaining the goal of seeing the Lord face to face. If you had see, the power of service to Guru is so powerful. So Prahlad Maharaj knew about that. That's why he asked, so please let me serve the Guru, my Guru. Because of his instructions, I am able to see you face to face. Because I follow. Dhruva Maharaj also the same thing. Follow the instructions of Narada Muni. And say, followed sincerely, with seriousness, right? That's the point to understand. See, one who is determined, okay, one who is determined and who has been touched by a pure devotee like Suniti, mother of Dhruva Maharaj, they develop the qualities without even realizing it. See, your behavior changes without you realizing it, when you obey the spiritual master and when you obey the Shastras. Because they automatically change. And it is not the other way around. That is why Krishna consciousness, in Krishna consciousness, no, we don't have character building seminars. We build on the faith of Krishna, and then all the character comes. See, now Dhruva Maharaj has already told Narada Muni, right? This is what I want. Narada Muni had actually put him into a test. Because when he came, he said, "You are so small boy. Now is not the time to forest. You can go home," and all those things, right? But he said, "No, I want this." So he was putting him to a test. So before a guru decides to give a disciple diksha, he has to test him. Is he serious or not serious? But now Narada Muni knew that this boy is very serious. He is 5 years old, but highly mature. And the most important thing is Vyavasatmika Buddhi. That is, his intelligence focused on one subject, one object, that is Krishna. So Narada Muni knew that Dhruva Maharaj has passed this test. So he said, "My dear Dhruva, I have now initiated you in the path of bhakti." So after initiating him, he now tells him, "You chant this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya." And he gives him specific instructions on how to concentrate on the beautiful forms of the Lord in the heart. A lot of very good prayers are there. So Dhruva Maharaj accepts every single instruction and now he starts his austerity. Please see how he follows the instructions. He goes to the beautiful forest Madhuvan and there he stands. Even though there is so many dangers of wild animals, of no food, right? Even though there is nothing favorable there, Dhruva Maharaj had faith in his spiritual master. So this is the point of determination. And again, it is faith. Because he has faith that Narada Muni had told him to stand here now, he knew that he would just be determined to meet Krishna. He was not doubtful. So what happened? In the first month, Shastras tell us that Dhruva Maharaj ate only fruits and berries every third day. Can we do that? Oh, very difficult, Prabhu. If we get a chance, we will eat prasadam 3 times a day. Right? Minimum. And in between some prasadam snacks. Isn't it? Night milk, morning milk. But Dhruva Maharaj ate just every third day and that too berries and fruits. In the second month, he ate only fruits and leaves once every 6 days. We can't eat leaves. And in the third month, Bhagavatam says he started taking water. And that too every 9 days. For us, after 9 hours without water, we are finished. In the fourth month, Dhruva Maharaj has stopped eating and drinking. He only inhaled air. And that also he inhaled air once in every 12 days. So Dhruva Maharaj was Ekeha Kuru Nandana. There was no bodily conception of life. The purport Prabhupada writes that the obstacle to determination is the bodily concept of life. The obstacle to determination is the bodily concept of life. Please remember that. The more you think that you are this body, the less determined you are to do devotional service. The more you criticize, the more you find faults. It is all based of this body. So Dhruva Maharaj had no time to criticize. Anyway, how to criticize? Nobody in the forest, right? There are only animals there. And he was just concentrating. And finally, by the time 5th month came, he was standing on one leg without movement. Mind fully concentrated on Krishna. Bhagavatam tells us that his mind and senses became completely fixed on the lotus feet of lotus form of the Lord in the heart, as given by Narada Muni. And in that way, Bhagavatam says he captured Krishna. And because he captured Krishna out of his determination and on the platform of following the instructions of his spiritual master Narada Muni, the entire world began to tremble because of Dhruva Maharaj's great austerity. Now, because he was one in his heart with Krishna, his body assumed the weight of the Supreme Lord. And just by his toe poking into the ground, the entire earth was going down. Now, because he had closed all his senses, the entire 3 worlds became choked up. Because he was one in his mind with Krishna. Finally, the Devatas called up Krishna and said, "Krishna, this devotee boy is highly determined. But before we die, please save us. The Lord gets up on Garuda. And Dhruva Maharaj is fixing his mind on Krishna. At the very last moment, he has the glimpse of the Lord in his heart. Dhruva Maharaj became very ecstatic. So that determination has led to the darshan. D for determination and D for devotional service. And the end result of this D is darshan of Krishna. Very easy now, 3 Ds. Right? D for determination, D for devotional service. The end result is D for darshan of Krishna. And once these 3 Ds are there, Dhruva Maharaj became ecstatic. The moment he became ecstatic, Krishna disappeared from his heart. And once he disappeared, what did Dhruva do? He opened his eyes. And who was in front of him? Krishna seated on Garuda. See how the Lord planned everything so nicely, right? He first gave him the taste of Lord's form, and as soon as he opened his eyes, the Lord was in front of him. So this is the beauty, you know. So how is austerity? Following instructions of spiritual master gives you the darshan of the Lord face to face. See, neither creating good or bad karmic seeds or impressions which are bound to attach one to the future bodily experiences, you know. The living entity is freed from karma by Krishna's grace in the form of a spiritual master who gives him entrance into transcendence. So Jiva Goswami in his Bhakti Sandarbha 868, he says, the process that bestows divyam jnanam and destroys sin is called diksha by the spiritual persons who have seen the truth. So what happens? The disciples, by initiation, disciples' previous bad samskaras are completely wiped out one by one. As it is explained in Padma Puran. Apararabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalonmukham krameneva praliyeta Vishnu bhakti ratatmana. For those who engage in Vishnu bhakti, step by step, the aprarabdha, kutam, bija, and prarabdha karmas, they are all destroyed. All destroyed. So, what is the purpose of our devotional service? This Krishna consciousness. Because you must know how to remember Narayana at the time of your death. It's a very interesting story. Once it was described by Satswarup Maharaj in the Back to Godhead magazine, right? He said, the learned scholar and the boatman. See, in Bengal, there are many rivers. So, people generally transport by boat service. So, what happened? The learned scholar from Calcutta, no? He was going home in the village on a boat. And he was very happy. So, he was asking the boatman, my dear boatman, do you know what are these stars, this astronomy? How they are working, do you know? No, sir, I do not know. Oh, your life is 25% lost. You do not know anything. Then after some time, the scholar asked the boatman, you know geology? How this earth, water, they are working? He said, no, sir, I am a poor man. What can I know? Oh, your 50% of your life is lost. Now, then all of a sudden, there was a cloud, a very black cloud, dark in the sky, and there was a storm. At that time, the boatman asked the scholar, sir, do you know how to swim? No, I do not know. He said, then 100% you are lost. You are going to be drowned. So he jumped and he drowned. So this is the point, right? You are trying to understand the whole analytic study of the material world. Okay, that is very good. But if you do not know how to remember Narayana at the time of death, then there are going to be cats and dogs. That's all. Now, because you are very fond of dog, right? That's why, especially in Western countries, every gentleman, every lady has a dog. So what will you think at the time of death? Dog. That is nature's law. Vyam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyante kalevaram. 8.6 Bhagavad Gita says. So you will find in Bhagavad Gita, right? At the time of death, the mental condition which you have created, that will carry you to the next body. So don't create your mind doggish. Rupa says, make it Krishna conscious. And that is very nice. And at the time of death, you remember Krishna and you will be transferred to Krishna Loka. He says, Whatever you may be, it doesn't matter. Practice Krishna consciousness. That will save you. See, everywhere, either you take birth as a man or a cat or a dog or insect, there is a father and mother for each of them. So father, mother, you will get in any type of birth, but not Guru and Krishna. Very important my purpose is. Father and mother, you will get in any type of birth, but Guru and Krishna, you will not get. Therefore, this birth is meant for achieving Guru and Krishna. Father, mother, you will get anyone. Even you become a serpent, there is father and mother. That is the way of birth. Even in human society, every man is born a Shudra. He requires a second birth by samskara. Samskarat bhavet dvijaha. That is reformation. So just like we gave second birth initiation, right? The father is second birth, the father is spiritual master, the mother is the Vedas. So as the first birth is taken by the material father and mother, similarly second birth, Dvija, is possible by the spiritual master, the father and Vedic knowledge mother. So that is required. And that is possible in the human form of life. See, a cat is born by father and mother. You are also born by father and mother. But the cat is not eligible to take the second father and mother. Right? Dog is not eligible. That is not possible. So if you do not take that privilege of accepting the second father and mother, then what is the difference between your birth and the dog's birth? You have got this human form of body, the best body. That is the instruction of all Vedic literatures. Simply, see, what is material civilization? Simply working like cats and dogs, same eating, sleeping, mating and defending. So Prabhupada says, see, there are so many wonderful buildings. I was talking about Paris, where the culture is to make the human life. Where is the culture for making the human perfect life perfect? You got very nice buildings, huh? Very architecture buildings, everything. So intelligence is required, right? You have to utilize your intelligence. Of course, there is very nice intelligence. But if you use your intelligence for simply material activities, then you're not intelligent. You're a fool. That is described. Janma labha para pumsam. You must make a cultural institution where people may take education how to remember Narayana at the time of death. That is required. Otherwise, useless. What is the value? You waste so much of your time to construct a very nice house. By the time of death, you could not remember Narayana. You remember your very nice friend dog. What is the value? So they do not understand this. There is life after death. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavananjara. Tata dehantara praptihi. 2.13 Bhagavad Gita. See, as you are changing your body from childhood to boyhood, right? Very simple philosophy. The rascal will not understand. I am changing my body. You may say it is a growth, but it is changed. I had a childhood body. That body is different from this present body. It is changed. Therefore, I already changed my body so many ways, so many times. And I change my body, and after the body is no more useful, right? Example is, say, for example, I am putting on a sweater, and when it is torn, no more useful, I get out of it. I get another one. Vasamshi chirnani yatha vihaya navani granati tata parani. 2.22 Bhagavad Gita says. So everything is clearly stated. This is dress only. This body is a dress. We do not give only the body dress, right? We have give the stress on the soul. We do not make any distinction that this is Hindu dress, Muslim dress, Christian dress, black, white. We have nothing to do with the dress. We have to do with the soul within the dress. He is part and parcel of Krishna. He has forgotten Krishna. Therefore, he is suffering. Therefore, a movement is to revive his Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. This is Krishna conscious movement. Ante Narayana Smritihi. So it is a very important movement. So those who are very intelligent, they can take to it. Or you become intelligent or not intelligent. But no, at least unless one is pious, he cannot take to this movement. But somehow or the other, if you take this movement, then your value, this life is very valuable. This valuable life is successful. It is not cats and dogs, it's life. It is human form of life. Utilize it properly. Utilize properly means to become Krishna conscious, not dog conscious, or cat conscious, or this conscious, or that conscious. That will not help you. Krishna consciousness will help you. Then you will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. And then this valuable life is properly utilized. So you've got a very nice, valuable body. But it will be properly utilized if you learn how to remember Narayana at the time of death. So that's why in this purport of the current verse which we are discussing, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, right? If I could perfectly deliver even one soul back home, back to Godhead, I would think my mission, propagating Krishna consciousness, to be successful. The Krishna conscious movement is spreading now, or see, now Prabhupada is telling the Krishna conscious movement is spreading now all over the world. And sometimes Prabhupada is telling about himself. Sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, Prabhupada is telling about himself. Sometimes I am crippled in many ways. If one of my disciples become as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will be able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. See what a wonderful point he used to say, right? So following the instructions, that's the Chaitya Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, following the instructions of the spiritual master. And in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, if his Mara, the first Guru, Shiksha Guru was his mother. She gave him the instructions when Suruchi insulted him and he became grieved, right? So Maharaj gave, Suniti Mataji gave him a very nice intelligence, very good points to ponder. He said, only Krishna can help you. So he followed, he immediately followed. He was going to the forest. And Narada Muni came. This is a spiritual master. And he first tested him, right? But he was very adamant. He was very determined. So he gave him the instructions and gave him what is the form he should follow, what is the mantra he is to chant. And we saw first month, second month, third month, how he was so determined in following the instructions of spiritual master. And what happened? If you follow the instructions of the spiritual master sincerely, seriously, with discipline and commitment, you can have the darshan of the Lord face to face. So this is the point to understand. So very nice lesson we could learn from today's class. Thank you very much. I'll stop here now. Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava. Vancha kalpa tarubhya kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavaya. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Just I think chat box something. What is Prabhu? List of 10 things we promised at the time of initiation. Where do I share? In the ISGM group, Manadi? Is it okay? Can I share that?
Yes, Prabhu. Difference in this chat also, Prabhu.
In the chat, but it will.
Prabhuji, if you share the lecture, we can make notes. That's it.
Yeah, but this Mataji is not in also. Or if you can share your number, I can forward to you, Mataji. If anybody else, anything else to share, any takeaways from today's?
Determination and devotion will give you darshan of God.
Yes, Mataji. Absolutely right.
Thank you,
determination
Prabhuji.
is like a word, but you have to be
Prabhu, Hare
determined.
Krishna.
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Means a
Hare
lot.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, you're
Hare
talking about
Krishna.
sharing. You can share it in ISGM group, so for the benefit of everybody. That'll be nice,
Okay,
Prabhu,
I
if that's
will
okay
do
with
that.
you.
Sure, I will definitely do that. Sure, sure.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru. Pavani Mataji, right? Okay, I will definitely do that. Nice. Any other
Hare
takeaways
Krishna,
from today?
Prabhuji. My two takeaways, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
One is to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And the aim of life is how to attain the Goloka ticket by
Oh,
continuously remembering Krishna.
very nice. True, true.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Gurudev ki jai.
3 Ds are very important, Prabhuji. Determination, devotion to Krishna, and darshan of Krishna.
Yes, if you have determination and devotion, automatically it will lead to darshan of Krishna. That's what Dhruva Maharaj did, right?
Yes.
He did not have any questions. Oh, how to do this, where to do, nothing. Nazumental, you stand in this place, Madhuvan, here stand in there, and do this, that's it. No questions. Oh, where can I get the food? First thing, where water, where will I get all these things? Before starting our austerity, we will think of all these things. He never thought anything. He sincerely just followed. These are very good lessons from Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. In fact, where I read, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to love hearing this Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj episodes. Anything else, Prabhu's Mataji? Otherwise, I'll stop here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you,
You
Gordon
told
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna
like,
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam Prabhuji. Thank you Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, like what I take away for me is like even in this one life we can achieve Krishna. Need not think that we cannot. But by Dhruv Maharaj, we can learn from this that yes, even in this one life we can definitely have that. So Prabhuji, the question also arises like Dhruv Maharaj for 6 months he did so much of austerity and other things. So what is that we should do that to achieve Krishna? Like how purity?
6
What
months?
is the purity? Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Prabhupada says, even in a 1 minute or 2 minutes, I don't know exactly. It's 1 second. So please help me understand.
Yeah, very simple. See, all the packages, for the whole package which Prabhupada is given, you have to just follow. One thing my Maharaj used to say, just attend Mangalarti. That's it. You don't have to do so many things, no? You have to do this, so many. All these gurus in our parampara, they don't give any difficult instructions. They know what you can do, right? If they give something very difficult, you will not follow. You will leave it. It's gone. But we are still continuing. That means we are able to do it. We are able to chant 16 rounds, right? We are able to go Mangalarti. We can do service, maybe in prasadam making or making of garlands, right? So many sevas we are able to do, right? The book distribution. These are all the things which purify our. So always being absorbed in Krishna consciousness, we get purified. You should know, we cannot question. Are we definitely you are prepared? If you think about before coming to Krishna consciousness how you were and now how you are, you can yourself reflect and think about it. You will know about it. Oh, definitely there is a lot of change. It will be there because we may not be all the anarthas, no, like getting angry, agitated. We may be still doing, but the frequency might be lesser, and its intensity also will be lesser. Will not be that much as before. So slowly, that means it is getting purified. It definitely gets purified just by chanting or reciting shlokas or hearing Krishna Katha and doing all the sevas, right? And following the instructions and cooperating with everybody, not offending anyone. So these are a lot of qualities which we have to imbibe in ourselves. It will come by a higher test. I think in the morning there is a Bhagavad Gita class, the same thing. I think it's 2.59 words. If you read that, by getting a higher test, the lower test will go off. So the 2.59 is Bhagavad Gita verse is also very interesting. Right? For example, doctor gives a prescription. So you are having such a disease, so you have to not eat these things, all this. But our senses, mind will still be thinking of that, what the doctor said not to eat. But once we are cured, again we go back. So then what's the point? So we have to come to a higher test so that what are the lower test will automatically go away. Forcefully, we cannot do anything. So, but we are in the right path. So this is how we can get purify ourselves. Glorify the Lord. In the programs, you have to glorify the Lord, not other people and attract. That's the point. Hope I was very useful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gordon Prabhu, Uttam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Kawani Mataji, Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji, Kartik Prabhu. Kartik Prabhu, thank you for giving the opportunity.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna. Suma Mataji, Sola Mataji, Kwati Mataji, Hare Krishna. So I'll close here. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanyavad.
Pranam. Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Krishna Dandavat pranam.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.